Hello, my name is Giancarlo Nosa, and with my partner Juan Mario Tividor, we will explain one of the most important photos for the architecture and for the birth of a new lifestyle by the end of an era, and also by understanding the change the world was having in that moment, the needs, and also the disappearance of the idea of the architect as a supreme being that can create perfect things, but also without thinking about the people who will use it.
The themes in this photo are social housing, which is represented as an asocial life in an urban level, security clusters caused by the bad impacts brought not only by this building, but by all modern architecture and architects at the pedestrian level that didn't really matter about that, and architecture made without thinking about people, only with the desires of an architect to be known.
He wanted to show that the thoughts and the ideology of the modern movement were obsolete for the lifestyle that exists at that time, seeking to show his position that indicate the end of an era in architecture, urbanism, and the way of life, saying how a building that fully represents the ideals and the characteristic of this movement, blinded by a scale, totally remote from people and very though for the automobile, losing sight for activities and interaction of the people, and understanding the importance of social relations and the architecture that promotes the vision of a person, and that is not a building made for itself, but it has to be made for people. So with this demolition, he demonstrates his idea to the world.
In March 16, 1972, around 3 p.m. in St. Louis, Charles Jenks took a photo of one of the best known and most prized projects from modern architecture that was being demolished. This photo was taken at the moment when one of the most recognized movements in architecture, the modernism, came to an end, along with their concepts and idea of the city, by destroying a structure that represents the ideal of the movement and that represents a change of age, mentally, and lifestyles for the people.
We are surprised to see how architecture can greatly influence socially to the point of generating a change in mentality and way of life, in a positive or a negative way, as well as how imposed ideas that have a social basis generate negative effects and rejection by people until generating a mental revolution. And in this way, we can see that each of the things we do and inhabit have repercussion in our lives and the lives of others, and that architecture not thought of in the future can affect the social and economic development of a city or a country. The importance of understanding that spaces impose ideas and behaviors without us knowing it.
We select this photo for the meaning it has. That was completely architectural, the end of an era, the end of the most relevant movement in the whole history. As we said, the photo was in a neighborhood called St. Louis in Missouri that was considered one of the poorest communities in the city. So the city government thought that by doing a social housing project will fix the entire problem of the community. And that was what they did. They built around 3,000 houses, but in less than 5 years, the 60% of the project was empty and nobody was approached the neighborhood due to the extreme violence that was happening there. So with this photo, the people began to understand that the movement they were living wasn't working. So that gave a way to the new thoughts for the people to mark the architecture nowadays, and that thought is are what we are living today.